In 2008, Sony released Trophies for the PlayStation 3, a feature that allows players to earn virtual accolades tied to their profile for doing in-game challenges, such as watching a big bird creature do a poo. With the release of the PlayStation 4, Sony also started to calculate how rare specific trophies were, ranking them from common all the way to ultra rare. So with thousands of games available across the 4 platforms that support trophies, I found myself asking the question, what are the rarest PlayStation trophies? Accolades so unattainable, they've only been earned by a tiny percentage of players. So the result is this, a video of the 12 rarest PlayStation trophies earned by only 0.1% of players. Before we start, let's just quickly establish how I made this list. Yep, that's right, I did some work for this one. Good for me. Trophy rarity is calculated by dividing the number of people who have played a game by the number of players who have unlocked a trophy. If hundreds of thousands of people have played a game, but only a few have unlocked a specific trophy, the lower the rarity percentage. With this in mind, I've avoided games that feature glitched trophies that never received patches to make them consistently unlock, and I've steered clear of games that featured multiplayer trophies that can't be obtained due to low player numbers or because their servers have been shut down completely. No trophies from MAG will be included in this list. Sorry, MAG fans. Instead, this list comprises of a mixture of games, both popular and obscure, with trophies that can still be achieved by anyone watching this video. I also haven't included any platinum trophies because they pop automatically once every other trophy has been earned. It's also worth bearing in mind that although these trophies are currently sitting at 0.1% rarity at the time of recording, this may change. With all that out of the way, hi, I'm Liam from Push Square, and this is our list of the 12 rarest PlayStation trophies. First up, we have Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus's Mein Leben trophy, which requires you to beat the game on the Mein Leben difficulty mode. This mode is not only the most challenging difficulty setting for what is, even on normal, a very tough game, it also features permadeath, meaning you can't save, and dying sends you right back to the very beginning of the game. Yeah, funny thing, I don't want to do that. Considering New Colossus takes, on average, 10 hours to complete, it's no wonder that so few players have achieved this, quite frankly, ridiculous trophy. Fall Guys may be a battle royale that swaps traditional violence for a colour-soaked competition of skill and agility, but that hasn't stopped it from featuring a trophy as harrowing as an official cross-section of one of its characters. The Infallible trophy requires you to win 5 episodes of the game in a row, with 60 players per game and only one able to be crowned the victor. The odds of achieving this are so low, it makes perfect sense as to why only 0.1% of players have managed to snag it thus far. 2 of the best-selling games on the PlayStation 4, Grand Theft Auto V and Red Dead Redemption 2, both feature a trophy that not only has the same requirements for unlocking it, but it also has the same rarity of 0.1%. The Solid Gold Baby trophy in Grand Theft Auto V and the Gold Rush trophy in Red Dead Redemption 2 task players with earning 70 gold medals within story missions. Now, this may sound like an impossible task, considering its rarity, but with both games including over 110 missions to complete, you don't even have to master all of them to pop this elusive accolade. Instead, the simple fact that so many people own these games has increased the rarity of this fairly difficult trophy to the lowest possible percentage. The sheer amount of people who have started both of these games but never progressed past the opening few hours makes those who saw the game through to the end a tiny minority rarity in comparison. Put it this way, according to trophy rarity, only 28% of players completed the storyline of Red Dead Redemption 2, while only 16% finished the last mission in GTA 5. If you're an aspiring hunter of rare trophies, heed my golden rule. Always start with the most popular games on the platform rather than the hardest. Why struggle through a Demon's Souls when you could simply finish a GTA 5 instead? Another supremely difficult trophy is next on our list. Gran Turismo Sport's record number of wins trophy requires you to match Michael Schumacher's record of 91 F1 victories. This description is sort of misleading. For starters, you don't achieve this trophy completing any F1 inspired events. Instead, you have to reign supreme in online sport mode events. Coming in first 91 times online is the definition of a slog. Trophy hunters have advised those looking to unlock this achievement to play after midnight in their time zone, in the vague hope that better players will be tucked up in bed, I guess? Despite being described as the toughest trophy in the game, it's not even the only one in Gran Turismo Sport's set with a 0.1% rarity. Both the Certified Genius and Ultimate Driver trophies hold the same percentage, tasking players with matching Senna's pole position record of 65 and achieving player level 50 respectively. To reach level 50 in this game could feasibly take thousands of hours. Who wants to do that? Who has the time to do that? You can't even play as small Norm in this game or throw potions at other drivers. What's the point? While we're on the subject of grind, Mortal Kombat on PlayStation 3 has a trophy that would take a minimum of 672 hours to unlock. The My Kung Fu is Stronger trophy tasks players with fulfilling the following requirements for every single one of the 28 characters included in the base game. You have to perform 150 X-ray moves. That's not so bad. Perform 100 atalities, whether they be babalities, fatalities, or stage fatalities. Okay, yeah, that's achievable. Spill 10,000 pints of blood. How do you measure that? And spend one real-time day, that's 24 hours, playing as that character. No. The advised way of achieving this trophy is to plug in 2 controllers, start a match with no timer, and just walk away for an entire day. 24 hours later, come back, do the same thing again with a different character, and just, well, you get the gist. Why would you do this? Next on our list, we have a trophy that's high rarity is the result of a number of different factors. Fortnite's Play Well with Others trophy requires the following. For starters, you have to actually own a copy of Fortnite's paid mode, Save the World. It wouldn't surprise me if many of you had forgotten that Fortnite originally launched as a full-priced survival and crafting game that tasked players with constructing bases before, defending them from hordes of zombies or whatever. So once you've bought a copy of Save the World, you then have to complete 1,000 Play with Others missions to make this trophy pop. So not only do you have to find someone else still playing through this barely supported base game, which is attached to the biggest free-to-play experience in recent history, but you also have to very politely ask them to keep playing with you 999 more times. Most free-to-play games on PlayStation feature trophies that you can achieve without spending a penny. Fortnite is the rare case where most players who have poured hundreds of hours into the game's Battle Royale mode end up with nothing but an empty trophy list to show for it. You'd have thought that, considering the trophy list for the PlayStation 5 version is completely separate to the last gen release, Epic would have thrown in a couple of Battle Royale trophies as a treat, but nope, they're the same. In fact, most of them are rarer. Incredible. When I was doing research for this video, I uncovered a lot of bizarre, complex, and broken trophies, but none seemed as infuriating to achieve is this next one. Wipeout Omega Collection's Beat Zico HD trophy tasks players with equaling or beating the lap time of 30.82 seconds on the Anulfa Pass forward course, racing on Venom speed and using the Piranha ship class. So the standard lap time for this course under these conditions is around 38 seconds. To shave off those additional 8 seconds, players must stick to a very strict racing line, hit multiple speed pads for some much needed boost, and perform a number of barrel rolls. Now, this may sound easy enough, but Wipeout isn't like other racing games. You aren't driving a car, you're piloting a hovering future car with air where its wheels should be. Therefore, pitching your craft and utilising its air brakes is a complicated but necessary skill that has to be mastered in order to achieve the high level play required to unlock this trophy. What this all means is that to beat this mysterious Zico, players must master the course to the point where they are capable of pulling off frame-perfect tricks, utilising minor dips in the track to achieve barrel rolls and boost their way flawlessly to victory. If you're interested in seeing how ridiculous this trophy is to achieve, and honestly you really have to see it to believe it, I recommend this video by YouTube user HellfireWZ, who uploaded a 7-minute tutorial back in 2009 for the original release of Wipeout HD on PlayStation 3, where he talks through each precise movement required to beat this trophy in excruciating but necessary detail. That's a 7-minute video about how to do a track in 30 seconds. It's no wonder that only 0.1% of players have managed to achieve this. It seems impossible. There's enough material around how Mega Man's spiritual successor Mighty No. 9 became one of the generation's biggest flops for it to receive its own dedicated video, but I'll preface this next trophy with the following context. Mighty No. 9 sucks. It's not even so bad it's good, it's just nothing. A mediocre borefest that no one really wanted to dedicate any time to when it finally released. So it should come as no surprise that the PlayStation 4 version of the game has 11 trophies with a 0.1% rarity, and that's not even including the platinum. These trophies task players with completing the game on its 2 highest difficulties, finishing its boss rush mode, completing all optional feats, and speedrunning the game in less than an hour. If the game itself was good, then many would have looked at these challenges as tests of their skills that they were willing to push themselves to achieve, but the game isn't good, it sucks. It's really, really bad, so why would you do this? Why would you put the time in? That's why they're so rare. In I Am Bread, you play as a slice of bread. I think it's based on a book. I'm not familiar with the lore. Like Mighty No. 9, this game has 13 trophies with a 0.1% rarity, but unlike Mighty No. 9, the game is slightly more well liked. Sharing more in common with Goat Simulator than anything else, I Am Bread is one of those wonky physics platformers where performing even the simplest of tasks is an absolute pain. So, obviously, the game's trophies require you to perfect every level, completing a number of very tight requirements in order to do so. You play as a janky piece of bread. This is hell. No one wants to do this, and therefore barely anyone has. Screw this game. Trophies attached to massively multiplayer online role-playing games are often the most time-consuming, but thanks to a dedicated player base, they're not often as rare as you might imagine. Even super difficult ones, such as Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn's An Adventurer's Life trophy, has a fairly reasonable rarity percentage, but The Elder Scrolls Online features not 1, but 2 trophies with 0.1% rarity. The first, Emperor, requires you to be the player at the top of the leaderboard for the alliance that controls all 6 keeps during a campaign. Multiplayer leaderboard trophies are always a pain, but comments on forums from players who have achieved this speak of grinding for 20 hours a day for multiple days after a campaign refreshes in an attempt to achieve this trophy. That just sounds cruel. Why would you make people do that? The second, Master Fisher, requires you to catch all the fish in the game. Seems simple enough, right? Well, yeah, I suppose in theory, but with every fish in the game having different spawn rates, and players forced to hunt down specific fishing holes that expire after a certain amount of time, and also like, at least for the Emperor trophy, you engage in exciting combat scenarios, but for this one you just fish. You just sit and wait to press a button to reel a fish in, and hope it's the right one. This trophy takes 100 hours minimum. And it's a bronze trophy. Why do people do this to themselves? The most recent trophy to be featured on this list, NBA 2K1's Fresh Lettuce Trophy, has a 0.1% rarity and a ridiculous set of requirements that have to be met in order to achieve it. Players must effectively fail constantly. They have to get signed to a G League team, fail the NBA Combine, be a total butthole in interviews, go undrafted, go back to the G League, lose every match, and achieve an F grade player rating. At this point, you'll have failed so beautifully. The game will give you a game over and reward you with this trophy. On a related note, NBA 2K18 arguably has the rarest trophy ever, but only because it was technically never possible to achieve it. The game was never patched to fix it, and the only people who have it hacked the game to acquire it, so it doesn't count. But there you go, a nice fact for you. Enjoy that, you're welcome. And finally, featuring the rarest trophies on PlayStation, we have The Zoom Arcade on PlayStation 4. All 21 of this game's trophies are currently sitting at a 0.1% rarity. The reason? Well, for starters, the game is a VR-only title, but on top of that, the game requires you to buy a compatible exercise bike that can sync with the game. So to even play the game, you have to spend hundreds of pounds up front. So as a result, no one played it? There are no reviews online, or barely any, anywhere, no conversations about the game. It seems that everyone who played it stumbled across it accidentally, but on top of all of this, the requirements for the trophies are just ridiculous and take actual physical effort to achieve. You have to cycle the distance from New York to LA, burn 17,000 calories, do 25-kilometer sessions in the space of a month. These would be pretty tough to achieve if you were just on a regular exercise bike, but imagine doing this while wearing a PlayStation VR headset. The wires flying all over the place while you're trapped in a low-quality, janky nightmare. No wonder all of the trophies are at such a high rarity. It's hard to achieve even one before you undoubtedly projectile vomit all over the exercise bike you were forced to buy to even play this rubbish in the first place. Also, it doesn't even have a platinum, so why? Why would you subject yourself to this torture in order to achieve it? I have no idea, but according to psnprofiles.com, at least 5 dedicated hunters have subjected themselves to this nightmare, grabbing all 21 trophies in the process. Good for them, I suppose. So there we have it, the 12 rarest PlayStation trophies. Have you got any of these trophies? What is the rarest trophy in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, it would really help us out. Thank you, as always, for watching.